So most of us out there, naturally, we assume that we're good communicators, right? And most photographers do this. They think they're great at communicating their message, what they're trying to accomplish, how they like to work. Or worse, some don't even think about communication at all. But whether you're photographing your friend as an amateur or leading a full-scale commercial shoot as a pro, how you communicate can make or break your photography, or make or break a shoot. So today I'm going to give you some real-world tips on how to communicate better as a photographer, no matter where you are at in your photography journey. I'm Justin Mott, and if you're new here, my channel is dedicated to all things photography from the perspective of a full-time working pro. My channel is less gear talk and more real talk. That's how I like to put it. So let's just get started with my first tip of the day. Start with your why. This applies to everyone, whether you're a seasoned pro or you're just starting out and photographing a friend on the weekend to sharpen your skills. I'm always telling people what I'm doing, keeping them engaged, letting them know why I'm doing what I'm doing. Just little things like I'd love to shoot around sunset. It's just a softer, more flattering light. I really like it. It's going to work well. It's going to be magical. It's going to give me more opportunities to create a more beautiful picture. Or maybe I'm just trying to communicate a mood. I'm trying to tell people, I'm trying to tell my subject I want a more candid feel, so I might ask for them to move a little bit more naturally instead of just standing still. Or why I'm putting their arms in a certain position, because it might convey more confidence. Clarity, the subject, the people around you, knowing your why helps your subject feel more involved. They trust you more. As a pro, my why on commercial shoots is simple. I plan just about everything around natural light. We set that tone early. I believe in it. I trust this process. I've built my style around it, so I explain it to people. You like the pictures on my website. This is what it takes to get those. Sure, I could mimic the sun with lights and modifiers, and I can talk to them about that, because I might say like, well, another photographer really created these full sets and we didn't even have to worry if it was sunny out. And I say, yeah, I do have a backup plan if the light isn't great, but I don't like having all those lights because it kills some of the spontaneity that I like with shooting with natural light. It sort of locks me down a little bit with freedom to work a scene 360 when things are working really well, because I don't have to pivot and move all the lights to just try something new. I can work in the moment. In editorial work, I'll say something along the lines of like I know photographing at your place, I know 5:30 is rough start time, I know, but trust me, the light is worth it. I've sold myself on it already, but I also need to sell them on why getting up early is important. And I just say, well, trust me, this work is going to go in this publication. It's going to be out there for years and people can search it online. I want it to be the best it could possibly be. So I hope you can trust me. I hope you can see the value in just one day starting so early. In documentary work, I might explain why I need to be there for hours or even days or even weeks, why I won't stage moments, why I want things to unfold naturally, what I'm trying to capture and why. That honesty upfront makes a huge difference. My second tip of the day is to communicate clear expectations with your clients. Even if you're just starting out as an amateur or dabbling on that line between amateur and pro, and you're shooting for free or for barter for a local brand or a friend's project, you still have a responsibility to set the tone. You don't have to be aggressive, just be clear. Let them know what time you want to shoot and why, how long it will take and why, what you'll deliver and what you won't, how they can use the images and how they can't. I know sometimes these can be uncomfortable conversations, but it's a lot easier and more comfortable to have these conversations ahead of time rather than later. So if you communicate now, you're saving yourself a lot of headaches later on. On a professional shoot, I'm constantly communicating with my clients about expectations. If a client suddenly wants to add 3 more shots than we planned for in a slot that we had planned for just one shot that I feel is really important, I might say something like, I totally understand the ambition, I'm willing to try it, but just so you know, it might affect the quality of our main image that we talked about extensively in pre-production. And I put the ball in their court and explain that, so then later on they're like, well, we didn't get the main shot as good as I wanted to. I'm not a person that likes to use excuses, but clients come up with ideas, things change in the moment, and listen, if they're open to it and they want to do it, then sure, I'll do it. But it's important that I communicate with them the sacrifices or the consequences if we change things. I also make sure they understand that when I'm pushing for something, like, oh, can we move that? Can we start a little bit earlier? Oh, I know we planned that, but can that happen? When I push for something like that, it's all about me trying to create a better image for them. It's not about my ego. It's not me trying to be difficult. It's because I truly believe it will elevate the final result for both of us. I don't commercial shoot, it's a collaborative process. I want to give them the best quality photos I can. And I constantly check in with my clients on shoot and look to see if there's tension on set with my crew, with them and their team. A lot of times I do hotel shoots and I can see people getting overwhelmed. And if I see that, I might say something like, hey, I can see this is a lot. I know that you're the liaison between us and maybe F&B or housekeeping, so let me know if there's anything I can do to help to ease that tension. I see it a lot on these shoots, and there's things that we never see. So just that empathy goes a long way. On a big shoot recently in Japan, I could see the stress of the client having to work with these different departments. It's a lot of work. It's quite demanding. So I just let her know, like, hey, I understand this could be quite taxing on the hotel, on the team, behind the scenes. Anything my team can do to ease that tension, to help, let us know. When I do ask for something, I'm just saying best case scenario. If it can't happen, I understand that as well. So don't worry about how it's going to affect me in the shoot. I'm going to give you my best. I'm going to do my best, and I'll let you know. I'll communicate with you if I feel like I really need something. You have to know when to fight, when to put your foot on the gas, when to back off a little bit. Fight's the wrong word, when to sort of voice your concern. Dealing with models and subjects, like early on in my career, I had models showing up late, not taking me seriously. It always frustrated me, and then I wasn't hiring the models directly early on in my career. We grow into doing production, so then we were hiring them so we could have a little bit more authority on telling them when we think they weren't doing a good job. You know, as I grew more mature and more confident, I didn't leave things to chance anymore. I started holding pre-shoot meetings, not like talking down to them. I talk in a way that say, like, I know you guys know this already, but I'd explain why we're getting up early, why it's important that you're on time. Because we're using natural light, I need you there ready at 5, not 5:05. And I would stress the importance of punctuality, set the tone early. I communicate what I expect out of them on a shoot, how I'm gonna direct them, if there's anything they feel uncomfortable about. I want them to be able to communicate with me as well. So I'm opening up the door to communications. Is the sun too harsh? Tell me you need a break for a water, you need an umbrella, you need just time out of the sun. I get that. One of my faults is, like, I shoot a lot of resorts. I need to stick people in the hot sun because I'm using natural light, but I understand it makes them sweaty, it makes them uncomfortable. So we're trying to find that balance. But I'm setting the tone early and leaving nothing to chance later. I also communicate to my team a lot about perception. How we look to a client matters to me. Even if we're doing great work, standing around on our phones, not being engaged, it sends the wrong message. Even as an amateur, acting professional makes others take you seriously. My next tip is to communicate with your subject. This might be the most important one. Whether you're photographing strangers, friends, or professional models, make it a two-way conversation. Like I talked about before, is open up the pathway to communication. Let people know how long the shoot will take, when they'll get breaks, what you're trying to capture and why they've got to stand in the hot sun, why they've got to get up early, what you're trying to do, explaining all this. Again, not extensively, but just explaining all of this. Like I said before, tell people it's okay to speak up, make yourself approachable. And when I'm working on long documentary stories, I explain why I'm around so much to people. Like, do you really need to be here all day? Like, all this is communicated ahead of time. And some people just don't want to deal with it and don't want it, and that's okay too. I try to find a different story, but I need to explain what I'm trying to capture, why I'm lingering around all day. It's not just about capturing reality, it's about you getting used to me getting used to you, so when something real happens, you're not even thinking about the camera anymore. And the more I'm there, the more chances to capture real moments. I explain what I'm after and why. I'm looking for a soft, introspective expression here, something like that. I had to fight for that a little bit when I did my story about the elephant orphanage. They wanted me to just sort of go where everyone else is. And I said, no, I really want to see the caretakers in the morning before people arrive. I saw pictures that they sleep in the same barn as the elephants. I want to capture that little moment. So that's why I'd love to be there at 5 a.m. and not 8 o'clock when you open to the public. I'm after a behind the scenes look. I want to capture natural emotions. I want to be there all day so people forget that I'm there. And I understand the light, understand the subject, understand the story as a whole. And it's all for the greater good of getting this story out and making it more real and more powerful, or whatever your version of that is. And yeah, like I said, it's not just important to pros, amateurs as well. A subject who feels respected and informed will always give you better images. I guarantee all of you out there, when I teach my one-on-one classes, a lot of my students, their best pictures, the most natural pictures, are photographing their friends and family because they know how to communicate with them. So to grow into shooting other people, getting really good images, no matter who you meet, you have to be a better communicator. My final tip of the day is to read the room. Get a sense of what's going on. Communication isn't just what you say, it's what you feel. It's body language, tone, awareness. If the mood on set feels off, or the mood in a portrait session with someone feels off, if someone's energy is dipping, check in with people. Ask them how they're doing. Ask them how you're feeling. Ask them if they have any questions for you. My style in general is I try to keep things light, warm, and silly often, and professional when I need to. I always like to think I'm professional, but I'm quite silly, quite loose, and quite light. And sometimes the perception part, I understand. I have to balance that because people are like, oh, is this guy capable of leading a big shoot? Yeah, I am. I like to show my professionalism when things matter. So yeah, communication is king. Some of the best photographers out there, best portrait photographers out there, they know how to communicate. They know how to convey their message and what they're trying to do. So that's it for today, guys. Don't forget to check out my Central Vietnam Photography Workshop. It is the workshop of a lifetime, open to all levels of photographers interested in all genres of photography. It's an amazing workshop. You can check out that and my online classes. I have open Q&A if you just wanted to ask a professional photographer, amateur, pro, some advice about gear, about style, where to go next in your photography. I have my monthly mentorship program. You can check all that out and more at askmott.com. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to have a wonderful day.